Hey guys, welcome to another day of geography. I want to make this pretty short and sweet. So this unit we are looking at Europe, and it's the very last unit, and it's very short. Um, so yay! End of the school year. Europe's made up of a lot of peninsulas. I mean, take a look at this. So right, we have the Italian peninsula, which is right the boot coming off. We have the Iberian Peninsula, which is right this part of Spain and Portugal. Right, we got like Sweden and Norway up in here making a peninsula. Denmark's a peninsula. I mean, Greece has tons of peninsulas. There's peninsulas all over the place. So first we'll start with the Scandinavian peninsula. This is Norway, Sweden, Finland, and Denmark. Even though Denmark, is like its own peninsula, it all counts as Scandinavian countries, so we put them together. In these peninsulas, we see lots of glaciers, right? So glaciers growing, glaciers spreading, glaciers melting, and making like fjords and stuff. Glaciers all over the place. As glaciers melt, right, they can leave behind like fjords. In these areas, there are thousands of lakes. Take a good look at Finland, right? Which is probably like right above my head as I'm filming this, right? Look at all those lakes, super crazy. This area, right, the Scandinavian Peninsula also has lots of mountains as well as lowlands. And if we were in class, we'd watch this video. It's about fjords, and it has some really pretty footage. But just from this picture, right, of their thumbnail, I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? So pretty. Up in this area in the Scandinavian countries, the closer you get into the Arctic Circle, the more you see like the Northern Lights, which is also great. Moving south into the Iberian Peninsula, right? This is where we have Spain and Portugal. The Iberian Peninsula is split off from the rest of Europe with the Pyrenees Mountains. This pretty much creates the border between Spain and France. So you'll probably see right, find Spain, find France, find the border, right? That's the Pyrenees Mountains. The Pyrenees Mountains are part of the reason why the people in Spain speak, Spanish, as well as like Basque and Catalan, versus the French speak French, right? Is because the mountains are hard to cross, which meant that it kept them like more isolated. We also have the Strait of Gibraltar, which is between Spain and Morocco. Morocco is in Africa, and the strait is that little bit of water that goes in between and connects the Atlantic Ocean with the Mediterranean Sea. The Strait of Gibraltar is actually only 20 miles wide. Super crazy, right? So not very big at all, right? And that's what separates Europe from Africa. This is a Christmas tradition in Catalonia or Barcelona, which is the capital of that state. It's the log, if you guys have heard me talk about it, right? So anyway, it's a log. It starts out as a little twig, and you feed it candy through the whole month of December, and then on Christmas Day, you sing a song, and you beat it with sticks, and it poops out your presents. So, fun stuff there. And then I also had this video of Barcelona, which is super fun. My husband lived in Barcelona for a couple years. So, man, it's gotta be like 2 or 3 years now. Me and my husband went and we toured a bunch of Spain, and it was super fun, and it's really pretty, and there's lots of cool stuff. So that's that. The Apennine Peninsula is our Italian peninsula. It's the boot, okay? It's Italy. It's boot shaped. Um, oh, goodness, Mrs. Ward, turn off your phone, right? It's the peninsula is named after the mountains that go down the middle of it, the spine. These mountains are also, a lot of them are volcanoes, like Mount Vesuvius, which is the mountain that is responsible for Pompeii, right? Being the archaeological treasure trove that it is, right? So Mount Vesuvius blew up, killed a bunch of people, but encased them in ash. And it's part of the reason that we know so much about like what ancient Rome was like, which is interesting. The Balkan Peninsula is like Greece, okay? So, and Greece has tons of islands as well, but we're looking at the peninsula. Lots of mountains in Greece, which makes it, first of all, really hard to travel by land, but on the bright side, they're surrounded by beautiful Mediterranean waters, and so they were able to travel by boat, right? We have the Balkan Mountains, traveling by water, so either in the sea, traveling by water, or up the Danube River. There's also lots of islands in Europe. Islands are included with Europe. Iceland is included in Europe, right? And there's lots of cool stuff with Iceland. I mean, you got the black sand beaches, lots of waterfalls, lots of volcanoes, lots of hot springs. There's like the Blue Lagoon hot spring that's like super famous. Settled by Vikings forever ago, so you have lots of European architecture. Volcanoes, hot springs, geysers. The capital's Reykjavik. Most of the homes and industry is only in the capital in Reykjavik. Yeah. We also have the British Isles, which is Great Britain, which includes England, Scotland, and Wales, as well as Ireland. The North and West Great Britain has mountains, lots of plateaus, really deep valleys. The South has low hills, rolling plains. Ireland, or the Emerald Isle, has cool temperatures, lots of rain. Okay. Southern islands in the Mediterranean. We have islands like Sicily, Sardinia, Corsica, Crete, Cyprus. They're in the Mediterranean Sea. There's lots of volcanic and earthquake activity. Really beautiful, scenic, rugged landscapes. In the Mediterranean, there's over 2,000 islands. I should have put pictures. One of my favorites is this one right here. This is Majorca. It sits between Minorca and Ibiza. Majorca is beautiful, guys. I want to go back so bad. I mean, it has Roman ruins, medieval cities with walls and moats, like history teacher's dream. It also has lighthouses, caves. There's one cave called the Dragon Caves, and there once upon a time were these goats called cave goats, and they're like cold-blooded, and their skulls look like freaking dragons. So when like medieval people came and were like exploring the caves, they're like, oh my gosh, there's all these bones with these like horns and stuff, and they're like, it's either the devil or dragons, right? And beautiful beaches, and it's a cool place. And that's part of Spain. But yeah, lots of mountains in Europe. So everything in red on this map is mountains. In Northern Europe, we have older, more ancient mountains, meaning that the mountain peaks are less rugged. They're more curved from weathering and erosion. We also have the Alps, which are younger mountains. So this really pointy one is the Matterhorn. Okay. And I'm not talking about the Disneyland one. I'm talking about the real one. The Alps are in northern Italy and Switzerland mostly, but there's also the Austrian Alps and the French Alps. Oh no. Mont Blanc is 15,000 feet high. The Matterhorn's 14,000. Lots of it's created by glaciation. We have the Pyrenees Mountains. Like I mentioned before, they're between Spain and France. They're also really tall and jagged and beautiful. Apennines in Italy. Spine of Italy runs the length of Italy. Separates east and west of the peninsula. The Carpathians, they are in Eastern Europe. If you go like Greece and then straight up, that's where they're at. Huge population of carnivores. Lots of carnivores in that area. It's also a curved mountain range, which is cool. Water. So most of Europe is within 300 miles of sea coast. The Netherlands or Holland, which is what this picture is of, 25% of their land is below sea level. They've built dikes, which are long walls to prevent sea flooding. Because their land is so low, it could basically flood and like be under the ocean. Rivers, the two major ones are the Rhine and the Danube. The Rhine starts in the Alps. The Danube is like the king of the rivers. It's super long, super important. It's a major waterway still today. And then we have the Thames, which is in London. It goes through London, I should say, and the British Isles, which is key for trade. And then I had some other cool videos that we would have watched. So, your... I haven't put that up yet. Your assignment for today is going to be a map of Europe. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day.